Hello everybody, my name is Ethan. Welcome back to the channel where today we're going to be hopping back into our machine learning course on Codecademy. In today's video, we are going to be looking at Git and GitHub. Some useful features here that most people are pretty familiar with. Doesn't matter what coding languages you're using. GitHub is something that a lot of people end up using. In the previous episode, we finished our Learn the Command Line chapter. So we finished all this stuff. Specifically in the last one, we did the configuring the environment one. So if you missed that, the bash profile stuff, setting that up, make sure to go check that out. I think that's all I have to recap, so we can kind of just hop right into the Git and GitHub lesson here. It looks like we're going to definitely have to maybe put 2 or maybe 3 videos into this one. We'll see how it goes. Okay, introduction to GitHub and Git. Introduction to our Learn Git and GitHub course. In this course, we'll cover the basic functions of Git and GitHub through lessons, projects, articles, and tutorials, or practice using basic Git commands in the terminal to add version control to your project. This means you can switch between different versions of your progress and branch off to create new features while preserving a main working copy. We'll go over how to integrate Git with GitHub, one of the most used web applications by developers across the world to collaborate in teams and share code. By the end of this course, you'll be able to create a Git project and set up a remote copy on GitHub, label code changes, and move between different versions of your project. Write text on the GitHub interface using Markdown to describe your project and code changes. Create branches in your Git project so you can collaborate with others. Use Git commands to make sure your local copy of code matches the remote copy on GitHub. Use GitHub pull requests to discuss code changes with others and be familiar with Git rebase, GitHub repository settings and how to keep a remote repository organized, how to create GitHub profile and explore code written by others, and be familiar with intermediate to advanced GitHub features that allow you to manage tasks within GitHub itself and automate actions. So, obviously, that is a lot of stuff that we have to cover. It's a lot of different stuff as well that all has to be covered. So let's just get right into it. To start, we'll maybe not watch this video of just some guy talking. I hate just playing videos, especially when they're 13 minutes long. Hopefully it's not necessary to watch the video. It looks like when we see hello, like hello world, hello Git, I'm probably going to just be able to get into it right away. No pun intended. Please do not take that out of context. Okay. Git is a software that allows you to keep track of changes made to a project over time. Git works by recording the changes you make to a project, storing those changes, then allowing you to reference them as needed. We'll learn Git by using it to help us write a screenplay called Harry Programmer and the Sorcerer's Code. We'll get started by taking a look at the screenplay project. In scene 1, scene1.txt, add this text. So if you missed the previous episode, obviously we'll just quickly do pw. Ooh, we're not actually in the thing here. Never mind. We're actually just automatically in the file. I thought we were in a bash profile, but we're not actually. So I tried doing pwd to do the print the working directory, but it wants us to just add this text: Harry Programmer and the Sorcerer's. Oh my God, the Sorcerer's code. Scene 1. Then press enter to create an empty new line. Once you've created a new line, click run. Cool. All right. All right, now we're back in the bash. Git in it. Excuse me. Now that we have started working on the screenplay, let's turn the Sorcerer's Code directory into a Git project. Do this with Git in it. The word init means initialize. The command setup all the tools Git needs to begin tracking changes made to the program. In the terminal, initialize a new Git project. Notice the output, initialize empty Git repository in the directory. The Git project was created. Click next to continue. Okay. So it wants me to just do Git in it, and it created a new one. Git workflow, nice. We have a Git project. A Git project can be thought of as having 3 parts: a working directory where you'll be doing all the work, creating, editing, deleting, and organizing files, a staging area where you'll list changes you made to the working directory, and then a repository where Git permanently stores those changes as different versions of the project, right? So that's kind of how it looks. So when we do Git init, we have a working directory, we Git add it to the staging area, and then finally Git commit into the repository. All right, Git status. As you write the screenplay, you'll be changing the contents of the working directory. You can check the status of those changes with Git status. From the terminal, check the status of the source code project. In the output, notice the file in red under untracked files. Untracked means that Git sees the file but has not started tracking changes yet. So if we do Git status, we can see that it says under the red untracked files. We'll see in red untracked files mean that Git sees the file but has not started tracking changes yet. So we can see that scene1 text is in here, but it has yet to be, Git has yet to begin tracking it. Okay, Git add. So Git add says in order for Git to start tracking scene1.txt, the file needs to be added to the staging area. We can add a file with, it appears, Git add, and then it is scene-1.txt. Recall that you'll need to identify the file by its name. Check the status. Now we can do, what was it again? Oh my god, that's embarrassing. It's just Git status. Did we just do that? Oops. Okay, let me actually check really quick to see. Yeah, we literally just did that. Wow, that's crazy that I completely forgot that immediately after learning it. Okay, Git status checks to see if it has been committed. In the output, notice that Git indicates the changes to be committed with new file, scene1 text. In green text, here Git tells us the file was added to the staging area. Perfect. Git diff. Now you can know how to add a file to the staging area. Imagine we type another line in scene1 text. Since the file is tracked, we can check the differences from the working directory in the staging area with git diff file name. So here file name is the actual name of the file, and in the name of the file's change.txt, the command would be git diff changes.txt. In the code editor, add this text to scene.txt1. So dumble diff I should have, oops, known you would be your Professor gonna get. I'm gonna get. Now from the terminal, we can use the command to check the difference between working directory and staging area. Notice, so as indicated, oh yeah, so now it wants me to do git diff and then scene-1.txt. So we did that. It looks like we did it right. Add the changes to the recall. You'll need to identify the file by its name. So now we can do git scene-1.txt. That should now add this new line. All right, git commit. A commit is the last step of our Git workflow. A commit permanently stores changes from the staging area inside the repository. Git commit is the command we'll do next. However, one more bit of code is needed for a commit. The option -m followed by a message. Here's an example. Standard conventions for commit messages must be in quotation marks, written in present tense, should be brief. Make your first commit. From the terminal, type the command along with the command or commit message. This message should describe the point of the commit. If you're having trouble thinking of a good commit message, reflect on how the project has changed since it began. So we're going to do git, like if we print working directory, and I don't know why it's doing that. We can now do git commit -m. We have added new lines to the story. I guess it wants present tense, so we add new lines to the story. Don't really like that all that much. Perfect. All right, git log. Often with Git, you'll need to refer back to an earlier version of the project. Commits are stored chronologically in the repository and can be viewed with git log. From the terminal, list log a list of your commands, commits in the output. So if we do just git log, so it tells us this big long string, author, the date. It is July 25th, guys, almost the end of the month. It's scary. We add new lines to the story. Perfect. Date and time of the commit message, the commit author, 40 character code. Cool. All right, generalizations. You have now been introduced to the fundamental Git workflow. You've learned a lot. Let's take a moment to generalize. Git is the industry standard version control system for web developers. Use Git commands to help keep track of changes made to a project. Git init creates a new Git repository. Git status inspects the contents of the working directory and staging area. Git add adds files from the working directory to the staging area. Git diff shows the difference between the working directory and the stage area. And Git commit permanently stores files from the staging area in the repository. Finally, git log shows all previous commits. Cool. All right, we already have a nice little project here. So it wants us to do a new Git repository. I assume we're good with doing in the Manhattan one. So I will do that, and I will say git init, initialize empty repository in Manhattan zoo1.git. So we've done that. Let's check the status of it by doing git status. It looks like there's a couple, there's one untracked file called meal regimens, which is right here. Add meal regimens to the staging area. We can do that by doing git add meal -regimens.txt. And we've done that now, and now it wants us to commit it. So we git commit. Why does that look weird? Git commit, and we want to add the name, right? Meal regimens.txt. And please enter the comment. Oh, did I mess it up? Yeah, I needed a message. Added the meal regimens text file. Okay, Control O, enter, Control X. Did that, made the commit, forgot the -m message. That was a little silly. Include the new info here, which is 3 dot long-tailed chinchillas meal, 1 bag animal pellets, 1 bag dried fruit, half bag cashews, 5 carrots, 3 stalks kale, times 8 m, directions, disperse contents throughout chinchilla habitat. Okay, we can click save. We can re-add it to the meal. So we do git add, and then we'll do meal regimens. Oops. Git add meal regimens.txt. See, it's saying no, the git process is currently running. This means the git process crashed in the. Okay. Okay, that's what I did. So git add meal regimens. I think I messed something up here. Is there an actual way to... Oh, we can reset. Okay, I reset it just because I think I made a fatal mistake. So I'm going to just kind of go through this. So we're going to get in it, and that's going to initialize the empty. Now we're going to do git status. Git status shows us that meal regimens has yet to be added because it's untracked. Correct. So now we're going to add the meal regimens. So we're going to say git add meal-regimens.txt. We did that. Now it wants us to make a commit. So we can say git commit -m. And then our message is adding original list. Perfect. There we go. Include this new info. I hope that I can just copy and paste this. And of course I cannot. So we'll do 3 and retype all this out. One bag animal pellets, 1 bag dried fruit, 1/2 bag cashews, 5 carrots, and 3 stalks kale. Times 8 a.m. And finally, directions. Disperse contents throughout chinchilla habitat. I'm going to click save. Added that. We're going to re-add the new meal-regimens.txt. This time it worked, which I'm happy about. Now we can check the status. So we can do that by doing git status. Changes to be committed. I committed it, right? Yep, git commit. Make a commit as modified, which we do see. We see it as modified. Now let's make a commit by doing git commit -m. And in here we'll say added excerpt on chinchillas. Added that. We can view the history. What was that command again? Git log. And we can see our 2 commits. So the first one was adding the original list. And then later we added excerpt on chinchillas. So perfect. Here are 2 more animal reports. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to sit here and type for 20 minutes. So we'll just do one little one about DMX monkey meal, hefty amount, banana, medium amount, peanut butter. Time, all day, every day, baby. And of course, just quick, throw that in quotes. And finally, it says direction. Just leave that shit at the door. Okay. So we're going to save this file. We're going to add it back by doing git add. Hopefully you guys can see this. I'm actually going to do a nice little clear first so it goes all the way back to the top. But we'll do git add, and we'll do the meal regimens.txt. We did it. Now we can git commit -m, and in this message we're going to say dmx monkey excerpt added. And now we can do git log, and we'll see that we have our last one. So we had an original list, added the excerpt on chinchillas, added the DMX monkey excerpt as well then. Okay, perfect. We did really good on that project. I'm pretty happy about that. Looks like we have another one right back to back. I love when they do projects like this back to back. We had one previously in the entire thing, so I'm happy about it always. Okay, so it wants us to initialize a new Git project. We're going to do git in it to do that, so we've initialized it, right? We're going to check the status by doing git status, right? And it looks like there's actually 3 text files that have yet to be tracked. So add each file to the Git staging area. So we can do that by doing git add, and then we have disclaimer.txt. We can do disclaimer.txt, and we're going to do git add instructions.txt. And then finally we'll do git add warranty.txt. Check the status of the Git project one more time. We can do that by doing git status. So now all of the files are tracked, right? You can see they moved from red to green. I am just going to quickly clear. So it wants me to make a commit. I don't know if it wants me to commit all 3. Oh wait, actually no, since they're in the staging area, if we just do commit, it should be fine. So what I am going to do first is I'm going to just clear, and then I'm going to say git commit, and then -m, and then I'm going to say added, added 3 text files. Perfect. We made the commit. Now we can view the log by saying git log. We can see that we added the 3 text files there. Include this line in disclaimer.txt. So we're in disclaimer.txt. It wants us to include the line warning for best battery life. Do not leave robot battery charging overnight. I'm not sure why it's highlighting this apostrophe here. I'm a little confused by that, but we've saved this new message now, and we can re-add this file to the area by doing git add disclaimer.txt. Perfect, and now it wants us to recommit here, so we do git commit -m, and we'll say updated disclaimer text file, right? Perfect. We can check the log one more time. Ooh, git log. Hopefully you guys can see that. It says this one is the original one where it says added 3 text files, and then we have our updated the disclaimer text file in the logs as well. Perfect. Revise each file in whatever ways you'd like. Yeah, so we can do another one. Sure, why not? Let's go into the instructions one. And and instead of doing voice, well, instead add a new voice command that says get the way. So we can save that, and now we're going to have to, again, I'm going to just clear, we're going to have to git add, and we're updating the instructions.txt. Then we can git commit -m updated the instructions text file. Now we can do git log, and we can see we have the added 3 files, updated disclaimer text file, updated the instructions text file. Very nice. That's 2 projects done. In Git, a commit saves everything in your working directory. Don't think that's true. Records only code with good syntax. Nope. Permanently stores changes from a staging area into the repository. I like that one the most. Why use Git? To test proper syntax, to secure code base, to keep track of changes made to a project over time. Makes sense to me. What's wrong with the code below? There's no quotation marks. The comment message lacks quotation marks, right? What does Git and it do? It creates a new, or initializes a new Git project, right? Git add file name in the code below. What will you replace file name with? The file you wish to add to the staging area, right? The output below is typical of what command? So we have a commit command. It's actually, it looks like probably a log. Yeah, a log, right? The command git status shows, it shows not the commit history, files, changes, stage for commit, untracked files only, untracked files, and file. Yeah, that one down there. Where in Git do you typically create, edit, delete, and organize project files? So that's going to be the working directory, right? Makes sense. What is the purpose of the Git's staging area? To stage files changes for a commit, to show a list of your project's commits, to list files you don't want Git to track, to list notes about your project. It's going to be the stage file changes for a commit, right? Perfect. So we did 100% on that test. Pretty happy about that. There is a Git cheat sheet. And we can actually, why not check that out right now? There's a lot of probably awesome information. So there's git config, setup, and init, clone, a lot of different commands, 2 full pages of commands. Super, super fun. We can click next off of that and see what it takes us to. So I'll probably end the video there just because yeah, that's probably a good spot. We could probably break this up into little easier chunks. I like to always end off a section on a quiz. So if you did enjoy this video, please be sure to give it a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.